Greetings, folks. This is Volt, tackling once again Arkham Horror like it's 2018, seeing if we can get some achievements in Return to the Night of the Zealot, using only the card pool that existed at the time Return to the Night of the Zealot was released. We're going to attempt to run with 3 ultimatums this time. We're going to try Wendy Adams. We're going to tackle it with the ultimatum of survival. So if we're defeated, that's it. End of run. We're going to use the ultimatum of the Highlander. Our deck can only have 1 copy of any given card. And we're going to use the ultimatum of Chaos. We'll have a randomly rolled deck. So let's randomly roll that deck. If I get any duplicates, I will replace them in alphabetical order with the next card after that doesn't yet have a duplicate. Oh, this is just showing the used cards. Here we go. These are all the cards in the available card pool that Wendy can take. This is what Chaos has given us. So, for example, 41 Derringer, 2 copies, can't have 2. So instead, we're going to have 1 of them and 1 backpack because it's the next listed card. What else we got? 1 flashlight, 1 gravedigger shovel, 1 stray cat, 1 switchblade, 1 elusive. We already have an emergency cache. Now we have a fight or flight. 1 quick thinking, 1 resourceful. Okay. All right. Are we Highlander-esque? We are. Is this going to work? Probably not, but we're going to give it a try. Okay. Let's save that. And then let's lunge right into Return to the Gathering. We will create the deck. And we will remove the automatically generated outside the relevant card pool weakness. We're going to replace it with 1 from the card pool, which are all lined up here. And we get... We're doomed! I mean, this is the campaign to get doomed, right? That's really funny. Watch this be the run that wins. Okay, well, let's go right into it. Return to the Night of the Zealot, Return to the Gathering, opening hand. Gravedigger Shovel, Backpack, Hard Knocks in terms of assets. We've got an I'm out of here, and we got a fight or flight. Before we move back on, let's take a look. I'm going to pull up that window again. Let's take a look at what we actually have in the deck. And I'm particularly thinking in terms of damage, because in a perfect world, we'd be able to actually kill the Ghoul Priest. Will that happen? Unlikely. Let's see. I do have double or nothing. So if I manage to do a 2 damage hit boosted by Lita Chantler, if I manage to parlay her, that would do it. Could I manage that? I do have a Reckless Assault if I get down to 3 sanity. That's completely blank. You handle this one. I do have a Backstab. Okay. Fine. It's not impossible. But I do want, well, backpack might, I have some items that a backpack might find. All right, well, let's find out. Okay, so what are we keeping? I think I am going to keep the backpack. We'll toss back fight or flight and I'm out of here because those are for later in the scenario thing. Yep. I don't know why I just did that. If either of them come up, well, it didn't matter. We got Rabbit's Foot and Backstab. All right. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Tell you what I'm doing. I am in the study with 3 Shroud, 1 Clue. I can spend 2 actions to draw 3 cards. First Agenda, Doom Tracker 3. And I need to spend 3 clues in the guest hall to advance. But I think we're going to play some cards. So, I mean, I kept it, so I might as well use it. We're going to play Backpack. Search the top 6 for item and supply cards. What do I get? Wendy's Amulet. Lucky Cigarette Case. Well, can't keep them both, but there we go. I should let an attachment. There we go. Okay. All right. am I doing? Put that back in there. All right, fine. That's backpack. Of course, I also have rabbit's foot. I got all these accessories and can, I can't play them all. That's funny. I mean, let's also play down this gravedigger shovel. And I think we just go for this clue. We'd be testing 3 on 3. We do have Wendy's, of course, discard a card to redraw the token of the test. Or I could commit the rabbit's foot to be 1 up. Probably not going to play that, right? Yeah, let's no, I think I actually want to draw another card. Wow, this deck really is just accessories out of everywhere, isn't it? Okay, well, no enemies. We upkeep into an opportunist. Mythos 1 of 3. Our opening Mythos draw is an obscuring fog. Well, this place has just got that much more difficult to investigate, and maybe this is where I use the Gravedigger shovel to just get that clue. Yeah. So, which of my many accessories do I want to play? Probably one from the backpack, right? Because these I can discard to redraw. Do I go for the amulet? Or do I go for the cigarette case? I think maybe I start with the cigarette case to try to get some draw. And play the amulet later. I think that's maybe the play. But the first thing we're going to do is I am going to discard the shovel to get this clue because that's just a nonsense I'm not prepared for. Let's spend 2 to play the lucky cigarette case. And then let's move. Whoa. Here we go. Move down to the guest hall. 1 shroud, no clues. Can't take draw actions. Can still get drawn upkeep, which is what we're going to do. Pickpocketing. Okay. Mythos, 2 of 3 doom. Rotting Remains. Test willpower 3. For each point you fail by, take a horror. We're testing 4 against 3. I think we'll just take that straight up. -1 is a pass. Okay. Next up. Let's... Shroud 1 versus Shroud 2. We're going to move to the bathroom. 1 shroud, 1 clue. If you reveal a symbol while investigating, you lose all remaining actions and end your turn. We're going to draw another... No, we're going to take a resource, and then we're going to investigate. We're testing 3 against 1. We're going to auto-fail, and we're going to use Wendy's ability to redraw that. And let's discard... Ooh, the decorated skull. A skull is 0. That's much better. That's a pass, and we can use the cigarette case to draw a card. Reckless Assault. Reckless Abandon. Our turn still ends. Which is fine. That's why we did it last. No enemies. We upkeep into Derringer. Green Derringer. Okay. Mythos. We're at 3 doom, so the agenda advances. Either discard a card at random or take 2 horror. I would rather not We have any soak? We have some. If Joey the Rat Vigil shows up. We'll take 2 horror. Okay. And now our encounter card is a Swarm of Rats. Fight 1, health 1, evade 3. Hunter. Okay. Do we just try to kill the... Maybe we play the Derringer, take an attack of opportunity, and then shoot them, and then move. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to play Derringer, we'll take an attack of opportunity. Wendy shooting rats. We're going to shoot. We're testing a 3 against 1. Tablet is -2. That's an exact pass. They're defeated. And now we move back out to the guest hall. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into a lucky. Okay. Fine, fine. We're at 1 of 7 Doom on the agenda. Enemy card. What am I saying? Another Rotting Remains. Test 4 against 3. We'll take that straight up. Elder Sign +0. So we just pass. Okay. All right, we're going to move down into the bedroom. Shroud 2, 1 clue. After you fail while investigating, discard a card from your hand. And we're going to investigate 3 on 2. +1's a pass, and we pass by 2, so we draw a card. I'm out of here. We get this clue. And then we move back. And we will spend our 3 clues to advance the act. Put the hole in the wall into play, move there. Test willpower 4. For each point you fail by, discard a card at random from hand. Okay. Once in the hole in the wall becomes the hallway. Put the parlor here. Collapse the waveform as to the attic and the cellar, as they each have 2 possible options in the return. Now we test willpower 4. For each point we fail by, we discard a card. I'm looking for what willpower commits I have. Opportunist is a question mark. I do have lucky. Rabbit's foot is a question mark. I think we're going to commit Rabbit's foot. So we're 1 up on this test. 5 against 4. -2. We fail by 1. So we discard 1 card at random. Unless I play lucky. I'll discard 1 at random. It was opportunist. Fine. Okay. That's the end of the round. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into a Say Your Prayers. We need 2 more horror before we can use this or Reckless Assault, which is just 1 weakness draw away. We're at 2 of 7 Doom. Chill from below. Willpower 3. For each point you fail by, discard a card at random from your hand. We're again testing 4 on 3. +1 is a pass. And we passed by 2, so we'll draw a card from Lucky Cigarette Case. We're doomed. Does this work again? Take a horror. Record Doom Approaches. Okay. Well, we'll take a horror. And we will record Doom Approaches. All right. Now what? I think now we go up to the attic. It is the return version of the attic. Shroud 3, 1 clue. Put the set aside far above your house into play. Let's move to far above your house, which is the Field of Graves, 2 Shroud, 1 Clue. Once again, test willpower 4. For each point you fail by discard a card at random. Victory 1. I have no willpower commits I can use, so we'll just take that straight up, 4 and 4. -1. We would discard 1 card at random. Sure. It's Hard Knocks. And now we're in the Field of Graves, Shroud 2, 1 Clue. And let's try to pick it up. We're testing 3 against 2. -2 is a fail. Do I use Lucky? Do I discard a card and redraw? I think I will discard Pickpocketing and redraw. -1, we pass, we get the clue. Okay. All right. No enemies on the board. We upkeep, and that's also a victory point. We upkeep into a Switchblade. Perfect for Wendy Adams, he said, knowing it was not at all perfect for Wendy Adams. 3 Doom out of 7. Ah! We finally have a ghoul, and it's a victory point ghoul to boot. 4 Flesh Eater spawns in the attic between me and the rest of the house. 4 fight, 4 health, 1 evade. 1 evade. So I could conceivably move in, evade, and then just keep moving. Backstab would do 3 damage, which is not enough to kill it. I would have to follow up with a lucky shot. I think we evade it and move on. Now, what I don't yet have is a means to really get clues in the basement. I do have Lucky, which could boost up my test. No, we're going to try to move. Whoops. We're going to try to move past this guy. So let's, oh my goodness. There we go. We will move back to the attic. Flesh Eater engages. We're going to evade. We're testing 4 against 1. Cultist is -1. If you fail, take a horror. We did not. In fact, we passed by 2, so we draw a card from Lucky Cigarette Case. Elusive. Okay. This guy is exhausted. And we will move back to the hallway. Do I want this clue? No, I think I want to see... Ooh, I want to see what's in the basement. No, we will move on. Okay. No enemies that do anything. We upkeep. I have to remember I have Wendy's amulet, but right now the cigarette case has been doing work. We upkeep into a stray cat. That could be handy. Mythos. We're at 4 of 7 Doom. Our encounter card draw. We are frozen in fear. Okay. That's not great. I'm tempted to play Stray Cat and take 2 resources and then hope to test off Frozen in Fear with the help of Lucky, so that I'm gathering resources that I'm probably going to need if I'm going to be playing backstab and elusive, which is a way past the horde of ghouls to get to Lita Chandler, as opposed to letting Frozen in Fear eat up my actions. What's our doom at? 4. What I need are more cards. I'm looking at the deck that was created randomly and thinking about what, if anything, I have that will help me get those. No, you know what? It probably does make sense to go down to the basement. If an enemy spawns, I really don't want them to be in the hallway. So, no, we will take 2 actions. What's the basement? 4 Shroud, 2 Clues, Victory 1. After you enter, take a damage. It is the original version. This is where Look What I Found would, of course, be ideal. And, of course, it's not actually in this randomly created deck. I could investigate and hope for -1 or better to use Lucky. Or I play Stray Cat, which will be, I think, an important panic button. Do I have any other? I'm looking for intellect commits that might come my way. There's a scavenging, there's a resourceful, there's a quick thinking, there's a last chance, which might indeed be last chance. There's a double or nothing. That would be nice. I do have eavesdrop in the deck. That would be brilliant to get. Okay, you know what? We're going to play the Stray Cat. Now we're going to attempt this Frozen in Fear test. We're testing 4 against 3. -1 is a pass. All right, that's gone. Enemies don't do anything. This guy readied last turn, but he's just hanging out. We upkeep into We Are Abandoned and Alone. 2 direct horror, and our discard is removed from the game. So now we're 2 away from defeat, but it also means that we can use Reckless Assault and Say Your Prayers. All right, we're at 5 of 7 doom. Zealot Seal. Since I have 4 more cards, I test Willpower 2, and if I fail, discard 2 cards at random. We'll test this straight up, 4 on 2. -4, that's no good. We're going to discard the Switchblade to redraw that. -1 is much better, we pass. I still don't have much in the way of being able to get these clues. We're going to draw a card. Fight or Flight could be useful later, but not really yet. We're going to draw another card. Flashlight. We're going to play Flashlight. Okay. There we go. All right. No enemies that do anything. We upkeep into an Eavesdrop. All right. We're at 6 of 7 doom. Dissonant Voices. Can't play assets or events this turn. That's all right. We're going to be investigating with the Flashlight. That's what we're going to do. With the Flashlight, we're investigating 3 against 2. Yeah, we'll do this straight up. -2 would be a fail. Am I going to lucky this? I would love to keep Lucky for the parlay, to actually parlay Lita Chandler and maybe get her on the side, on our side. So, this is +5 combat, +5 agility. Maybe I don't need... No, I should keep those now that I can actually use them. I'm going to... Actually, maybe I don't need Lita Chandler. Fight or flight, where is it? Will be +5 fist and +5 agility. I'll have 6 combat, 6 fight, and 9 agility. Backstab would do 3 damage. A shot with the Derringer boosted by Reckless Assault. I may be able to just straight up murder the Ghoul Priest. So the cards I need for that are Fight or Flight, Backstab, Reckless Assault. So maybe I do just use the Lucky. I will need 4 resources to do all that. Playing Lucky does, of course, remove 1. What's our Doom at? All right, it's going to advance. Okay. Yeah, we're going to... I have a turn. I can spend a turn to get some resources before moving up and then triggering the end game. Yeah, we'll play Lucky. We'll play Lucky on this so that we pass by 1 and get this clue. Okay. Now we're going to investigate again with the flashlight, and for this one, I'll commit this eavesdrop so that we're testing 4 on 2. No, wait! I can't play Lucky because of the dissonant voices. Well, I just double spawned the cellar. I don't... Who knows what's happening here? No, I don't have that clue. I can't play Lucky. Now, I can discard. It was a -2. We're going to discard. And I may regret this, but I'm going to discard the I'm out of here to redraw that token. Well, to just draw that token. +1. All right, we pass. And not only that, we pass by 3. So we can draw a card with Lucky Cigarette Case. All right. E-cash, good. All right, now we're going to investigate again, and I will commit eavesdrop so that we're testing 4 on 2. I already spent a supply from the flashlight. 4 on 2. -2 is an exact pass. We get this clue in this victory point. Okay. So do I just move back? I'll have 4 resources. If I advance, I'll have the 4 resources needed. Play Fight or Flight, Backstab, Reckless Assault with the Derringer, defeat the Ghoul Priest, and be on our way. Now, what I wouldn't have is the ability to use Lucky, but would it even matter? No. No, we're gonna just move. All right, back we go into the hallway. Okay. The enemies don't do anything. We upkeep. We upkeep into a quick thinking. That could be handy. And it's the end of the round. We will advance. So we reveal the parlor, put Lita Chandler there, and spawn the Ghoul Priest on our heads. And Dissonant Voices discards at the end of the round. Now the agenda advances. Oh, I think I might have just summoned another ghoul. Yes, shuffle the discard in the encounter deck, discard till the ghoul's discarded, and I draw it. See if it matters. Nope, those are rats. We got the Corpse Hungry Ghoul, which is a good one to draw because he doesn't spawn on our heads. He spawns in the bedroom. I don't see the percentage in trying to get more victory points from the other ghouls. There just isn't enough damage potential in this deck. If I can get the Ghoul Priest, I'm happy about that. So let's try to do that. Doom track of 10. At the end of the enemy phase, unengaged ghouls move towards the parlor. Extra doom stacks. Let's try to win before any of that happens. Encounter card, Crypt Chill. Willpower 4. If you fail, choose and discard an asset you control. That's fine. The flashlight is not long for this world. Testing 4 on 4. Skull is a -1 because there's a ghoul here. So we do fail. Flashlight's discarded. Let's kill this guy. I'll spend 1 to play Fight or Flight. So I am now Fight 6 and put 9. Sure. I guess let's shoot him first. The only slightly awkward bit is that if backstab fails, well, maybe. No, let's just go for backstab. Spend 3 to play backstab. So we're testing 9 against 4, and we'll do 3 damage if we hit. -2 is a pass. We do 3 damage. Ghoul Priest, who is Fight 4, Health 5, Evade 4, is now down to 2. And we're going to shoot him with the Derringer. We are testing 8 against 4. To do 2 damage, we need to succeed by 2. And we'll commit Reckless Assault so that we're testing 12. Sure. Combat 12, Wendy Adams attack, 12 against 4. -2. He's defeated. And we advance the act. And this actually gets some achievements that I don't yet have. I can either burn down the house or keep it up. But there is an achievement for... Oh, I forgot about Lita Chandler's reaction ability to deal the killing blow to the Ghoul Priest. Maybe someone else will do that. But what we are going to do is burn our house to the ground, because insurance doesn't cover ghouls. Okay. So we take a mental trauma, but we earn Lita Chandler for our troubles. And... right. So we get 4 plus 2 bonus experience. We get 6 experience to make this deck something more. Okay. Good. Fine. We'll add Lita Chandler to the deck. Okay. All right. So drop Pickpocketing, Decorated Skull, you handle this one. Add Leo DeLuca, Flair, Lockpicks, Charisma, and Lita Chandler. Sure. Sounds good. All right. Let's get those cards. Leo DeLuca. Lockpicks. Apologies for having to do that on the fly, but with the Chaos deck, that's what you have to do. And Charisma. Good. We'll put charisma over here. We will shuffle these into the deck. We will remove... What was it? You handle this one. Pickpocketing, just too slow. And... the other card? The Decorated Skull. Part of what I'm thinking is that Midnight Masks does have that location that lets you pull an ally from your deck. So maybe we'll find that. All right, let's return to the Midnight Masks. The Midnight Masks. We'll remove your house because it burned to the ground. Let's do the handy dandy randomized setup. There we go. We start in Rivertown since our house is burned to the ground. We've got our cultists. We've got our encounter deck. Let's copy to player mats the scenario reference card. Okay. And let's see how this goes. Probably not well, but we're going to try. Okay. Opening hand. What do we got? Backpack. Resourceful, last chance, elusive, lucky. We're going to throw all of these back except the backpack. Joey the Rat. Leo DeLuca. Reckless assault. Backstab. Okay. All right. So I have 2 allies. So maybe instead of heading first, and which version of Rivertown do we have? We have the difficult version, 4 Shroud, 1 Clue. Discard a card with willpower icons to remove Doom from a cultist in play. Which would be good. Yeah, let's see if we've got that. Move up to Easttown. And we do. Shroud 2, 1 Clue. While you're here, reduce the cost of each ally asset you play by 2. We're going to spend, therefore, only 3 to play Leo DeLuca. Now we have another action. And I could then play Joey the Rat. So we just have a whole bunch of allies. And yeah, I think I will. At the very least, it's a lot of soak. For 2 resources, will do. Okay. All right, that's our opening. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into a lucky. All right, Mythos. We're at 1 of 6 Doom on the agenda. On Wings of Darkness, we're going to be carried right back to the center, maybe. We're testing 4 on 4. We'll just test that straight up. -1. So we fail by 1. I'm not going to discard a card for this. I will take a damage and a horror. Is there any direct horror besides the weakness? One moment. One moment. One moment, be right back. All right, we're back. Where were we after when we got interrupted? We were pulling this -1 and we were looking at this Wings of Darkness and planning to take a damage and a horror and move right back to the center. Are we doing that? Or am I discarding a card? No, I don't think I am discarding a card. I would have loved to get downtown and maybe rob a bank, but Sadly, that's not happening. South side could get us a bunch of cards. So let's just put this. I'm trying to remember if there's direct horror. I think masked horrors. The masked horrors treachery does direct horror. If you know what, we're gonna take this Cryptchilla thing here. No, I don't think it is. We'll take the horror on Wendy. And we'll put the damage on Joey the Rat. And we'll move back to the center. Okay. All right. Fine. Let's move. I never even used Leo's extra action. We're going to... Because what I wanted to do was try to get that clue. Because I moved, I played Leo DeLuca, I played Joey the Rat. I didn't use the extra action from him. We're going to retcon just very slightly because I did want to try for that clue, testing 3 against 2. What would I have gotten? A skull, a 0. So we are getting that clue. That was the intent all along. My apologies. But now we are going to move down to south side. Search your deck for an ally asset and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck, limit once per game. I'll maybe get Lita Chandler in hand for when Joey the Rat inevitably bites it. Yeah. Well, let's first the resources for this. Let's first draw a card. Lockpicks. So am I taking a resource? We got Leo DeLuca's extra action. Or am I just going for? We are 1-up. That covers more than half the bag. We are going to take a resource. And I am going to draw Lita Chandler using this special ability of this location. Okay. Fine. That's the end of the round. No enemies. We upkeep into the Derringer. We need to rob that bank. 2 of 6 Doom. Obscuring Fog. Well, this location is now that much harder to investigate. But testing 7 against 4 is reasonable. Yeah, testing 7 against 4 is reasonable. So we're going to play lockpicks. We're going to investigate with lockpick. So we're testing 7 against 4. -4, we're going to discard... We'll discard the backpack to redraw that. +1. That's much better. We get this clue. Obscuring Fog discards, and we do not lose supply on lockpicks. Do we spawn a cultist? My concern with spawning a cultist is that masked horrors is an ancient evils, unless you have 2 clues in hand. So, oh, also this exhausts. Let's see. Do I want to go to St. Mary's Hospital? There's 1 clue there. Yeah. Let's move. 2 shroud, 1 clue. You can spend an action to heal 3 damage. Do I just investigate this one straight up? Or do I take a resource? I think I take a resource. Because I have things I need to play. Yes. All right. No enemies. We upkeep. Hard knocks. Okay. We're at 3 of 6 doom. A disciple of the Devourer, farthest empty location. He either takes a clue or gets a doom. So, if he gets a doom, back in Rivertown, I could discard a card with a willpower icon, but I don't have any. I don't even have any question mark. Where will he spawn? These are 1 away. These are 2 away. So any of these 3 locations. We'll put him at East Town. And he will take a clue. Okay. All right. We're going to investigate. Have lucky. We're just going to investigate straight up here. 3 against 2. That's an auto fail. We're going to discard Hard Knocks to redraw that. -2. We'll play lucky to pass. That was our that was the Leo DeLuca action. My goodness. We move up to Miskatonic University. 3 shroud, 1 clue. You can spend an action, take 2 horror to gain a clue. We're going to investigate here using the lockpicks, so we're testing 7 against 3. -1 is a pass. We don't chip our lockpicks. We get a clue. And I am, in fact, going to take 2 horror. We'll put 1 on Joey and 1 on Wendy to get another clue. I should mark these limit once per game things with a resource to show that I've done them. I don't know what just happened there. Here we go. Here we go. Right. Okay. Now we have 4 clues. I can comfortably start trying to spawn cultists. But I also want to get this Derringer online. All right. No enemies that do anything. We upkeep into a stray cat. Just getting all the allies. Maybe those 4 of 6. On Wings of Darkness again. Ability 4. You know what? Sure. I'm testing 4 on 4. -4 is a fail. A damage and a horror. Well, since I have Lita Chandler, I'm going to let Joey the Rat take this fully on the chin and get discarded. And we'll come back to Rivertown. Okay. All right, so I'm going to play Lita Chandler. We have +1. We'll play the Derringer next round, I think. Well, I could take a resource, play it, move. No, then the Disciple of the Devourer will be hitting me. And I'd be testing only 2 against 3. And I don't yet have Reckless Assault online. I do need more cards. The lack of cards is presenting an issue. Let's spawn a cultist and see where we need to go. Who do we have? Alma Hill in Southside. Fight 3, health 3 of 8, 3. Well, drawing 3 cards the encounter deck is always a scary proposition. She can be a good parlay to end the scenario. She could be backstabbed, but I kind of want to save that. Do I go to the graveyard and get the clues there? Yes. It might get Reckless Assault online if I fail the test. Oh, wait, no. It's horror? Yeah. Go to the graveyard. 1 trial, 2 cruise, victory 1. After you enter test willpower 3, if you fail, you either take 2 horror, move to Rivertown. We'll take this test, 4 on 3. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Well, it would be -2, put a doom on a cultist, which would advance the agenda. But our name is Wendy Adams. We're going to discard this stray cat to redraw that token. +1, we pass. And I'm going to try to pick up a clue. Testing 3 against 1. Elder Sign. We pass and get a clue. Okay. All right. No enemies that do anything. We upkeep into Lair. I might be sitting here picking up a bunch of resources this turn. Okay. Mythos, 5 of 6. Mask of Umordoth. Perfect time to draw it because the Doom will whiff. So, since we're in the Witching Hour, but it does not advance the agenda. So it either goes on Alma Hill or in the Disciple. If it goes in the Disciple, he becomes 3 health and is aloof. If it goes in Alma Hill, she gets 5 health and gains Retaliate. I mean, I'm probably not going to fight her. Probably she'll be an end of scenario parlay. So I don't think it matters tremendously. If I boost up her health and make her have Retaliate, I'm wondering if it actually helps me to make him aloof. As it means I'll be able to move through his area without him engaging me. It might be a bad idea, but that's what we're going to do. Okay. All right. Good. Now, big guy's going to show up end of this round. Backstab does 3 damage. Flare does 3 damage. Derringer would do 2 with successful +2 shots. I don't have Reckless Assault online. The big guy will have either 6 health or 7 health. So Flare and Backstab. The one with 7 health, though, is a monster, which means Lita Chandler's will boost my damage. So again, if I go into the next round with 5 resources and both of these in hand, hopefully we'll do it. Now, the trick of it, though, is I'll be testing 4, and the one is fight 3, and the other is fight 4. So I need more commits. So I think first we're going to investigate using the lockpicks. so we can get this last clue. We're testing 7 against 1. -4. We were 6 up. We still pass by 2, so we still get the clue. But now I'm going to draw a card. Opportunist is a question mark. I'm going to draw another card. Lucky cigarette case. Would have been nice to have earlier. I should have probably drawn first, but whatever. And I'm going to take a resource. Okay. We're gearing up, such as we can. No enemies that do anything. We upkeep into, and I'm out of here. Good. That's 2 feet for the backstab test. Mythos, we're at 6 + 1 is 7 doom. This advances. Who do we have? We have Narogoth. Fight 3, health 7, evade 3. He is a monster, so extra damage from Lita applies. When ready, investigators at its location or connecting locations cannot parlay. And Hunter. Fine. Doom Trek of 8. Our Mythos card is False Lead. Test book 4. For each point you fail by, place a clue in your location. So we're testing 3 on 4. I think we just take this on the chin. At least we're at a place with Shroud 1. 3 on 4. +1. We pass. Sure. Why not? Okay. Can we kill this guy? We're certainly going to try. So we're going to spend 3 resources to play Backstab. We are testing 4 against 3. We'll commit. I'm out of here. So we're testing 6 on 3. Seems good. We passed by 3. Right. So that did 4 damage. Thanks to Lita Chandler. If I had more horror, I could have gotten the Derringer out. No, this is what we bought Flare for. It's fine that we're exiling it. We're going to spend 2. We're going to play Flare. So we're testing 5 against 3. Do I commit Opportunist? To cover the 3 and the tablet. No, I think we're better off holding it back and discarding it to redraw. So, 5 on 3. -2 is an exact pass. We do another. We do 3 damage. We actually do 4 damage because of Lita, and this guy's defeated. Okay, and then this is exiled. All right. Well, that worked out. But now we got to build back up. I could spend 2 clues to spawn another cultist, but if it's Herman Collins here in the graveyard, I'm going to want to parlay him by discarding 4 cards, and I don't have 4 cards to discard. So I think first I'm going to draw a card. Fight or flight. Good. And then I think I'm going to take a resource so that next turn I can play Lucky Cigarette Case. Yes. Okay. No enemies that do anything. We upkeep into a chance encounter. We could get Joey the Rat back. We're not going to, but we could. 1 of 8 doom. What do we get? A locked door. Attach the location with the most clues. So that's either Rivertown or Easttown. While it's lower Shroud, I think I might... Oh, he's aloof. Yeah, we'll lock up the 4 Shroud clue in Easttown. That's fine. Okay. All right. Okay. If I spawn Herman Collins, do I have 4 cards I'd be willing to pitch to parlay him? I kind of have 3 that I'd be willing to pitch. So that tells me I want to draw another card first. Not flip Leo DeLuca over. Now we're good. All right, I'm going to spend 2 clues. Spawn a cultist. It's Herman Collins. He spawns with us. Called it. And spend an action and discard 4 cards. So we'll do Say Your Prayers. We will do Reckless Assault, Opportunist, and Chance Encounter. And add him to the victory display. Perfect. Okay. And we're going to play Lucky Cigarette Case. Okay. All right, that's it. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into an emergency cache. For 2 of 8 Doom. Hunting Shadow. Spend a clue or take 2 damage. I will happily take 2 damage. We'll put 1 on Leo and 1 on Lita. Okay. E-Cash, Derringer, move. No, actually, no. We'll risk a little bit. We're gonna move twice. 1, 2. This guy does not engage because he is aloof. We're going to investigate using the lockpicks to get this clue. So we're testing 7 against 2. We're 5 up. We pass by 3, so we get a card from Lucky Cigarette Case. Elusive. And we get this clue. Okay. And now, actually, before I play eCash, we're going to move. We'll move to downtown because maybe downtown has a bank to rob. It kind of does. 3 shroud, 1 clue. Spend action and gain 3 resources. Limit once per game. Good. We'll take it. All right. No enemies that do anything. We upkeep into scavenging. Interesting. 3 of 8 Doom. The Corpse Taker. Okay. So he gets a Doom at the end of the Mythos phase. Farthest empty location. These are 1. These are 2. This is not empty. So either the graveyard or St. Mary's. We're, of course, going to do St. Mary's, so it takes him longer to get to the center. Since he is a monster, Lita lets us do an extra damage. This is a reason to get the Derringer online and to nail him with a fight or flight round. Okay. Let's check our timing. We're at 3+1. Next round will be at 4+2. So 5+2, then 3. So he won't... Even if we don't catch up with him until here, we can just barely manage it. Okay, so we are going to rob this bank and get 3 resources. 1, 2, 3. We are going to play the Derringer with those 3 resources. We're going to investigate using the lockpicks. We are testing 7 against 3. -1 is a pass by 3, and we draw a card from Lucky Cigarette Case, which is not without a fight. Good to see we get this clue. Now, do I spawn a cultist? If it is Wolfman Drew, then he's going to wallop me upside the head. If it's anyone else, less so of an issue. I think... Nah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play the emergency cache to get 3 more resources. There we go. Then we can spawn the cultist next turn. Okay. All right, enemies. This guy moves once. He'll move here. I'm aware I have elusive in my back pocket as well. We upkeep into. We are abandoned. We are alone. 2 direct horror. Discard goes away. All good. No problem. All right, we're at 4 + 1 is 5 of 8 Doom. Mask of Umordov. That's an issue. So this attaches to Alma, and she gets a Doom. Okay. All right. And then at the end of the Mythos phase, this Corpse Taker gets it. So now I need to deal with one or the other of them. All right, let's think this through. I do have the Derringer online. I have Fight or Flight. So if I moved, I'm aware I have elusive. I'm just thinking this through. I could shoot this guy. With Fight or Flight, I would be testing 8 against 4, but I'd need to pass by 2 to defeat him in a single shot. I do have Not Without a Fight, which would be another +2. I'd be skipping over north side location if I use elusive. If I moved into north side, what could I do? I could potentially get a clue, but it might need 2 clues. 1, 2, 3. But then I could elusive down and finish it. Or I could spend 2 clues to spawn a cultist, see where it leads. If I spawn a cultist, let's see, what could we run into? It could be Peter Warren, who lands right here. I'm thinking the other thing I could do is elusive down to Alma Hill and deal with her so there's not so much backtracking. If we got Wolf Mandrew, then I could just elusive away. I'm going to spend... Let's see what we get. I'm going to spend 2 clues, pull a cultist. It is indeed Wolf Mandrew. 4 shroud. 4 fight, 4 health to evade. When he attacks, he heals. I mean, this would be the turn. So, if I used Fight or Flight, then I'd be swinging 6 against 4. If I got 0 or better, but I'm the skulls are -2. I need to be mindful of that. Elusive will disengage him from me. Do I not use... No, I think I need to use fight or flight to get rid of this, get rid of the corpse taker, right? Seems that way. He doesn't have retaliate. Maybe I play fight or flight. Shoot him twice, really going all in on that. Then elusive, since it doesn't take an action. Oh, I can't elusive to it. A revealed location with no enemies. Okay. Okay. So then that crystallizes things. Then I'm just going to, I think, elusive over here into north side. Then I can move in and I can shoot the guy. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to have to do. That's fine. So we'll spend 2 resources to play elusive. We will disengage from Wolfman Drew. We will leave him here. We'll scoot over here. 3 shroud, 2 clues. Spend 5 resources to gain 2 clues, and it's a victory point. Well, now I know it's a victory point. I can't go for it right now. But I do think I'm going to lockpicks once while I'm here. So I'm testing 7 against, what is it? 3. So we're 4 up. We pass exactly. So we lose a supply from lockpicks, but we still get a clue. Then we'll move down to the corpse taker. And now, I mean, it's kind of painful to do it for a single shot, but I think it's what we have to do. So I'm going to play fight or flight. So we are swinging base 6. We will shoot this guy. So we're testing 8 against 4. I will commit, not without a fight. So that we're 10 on 4. We're 6 up. Good thing I did. We passed by 2. So thanks to Lita and the Derringer, we do 3 damage. He's defeated. And I draw a card from Lucky Cigarette Case. Okay. All right, that worked out. No enemies that do anything. We upkeep into double or nothing. Now that's interesting. Too bad I can't combine it with Last Chance. All right. Mythos. We're at 5 plus 1 is 6 doom. Hunting Shadow. Spend a clue or take 2 damage. Again, I will take 2 damage. 1 on Lita, 1 on myself. All right. I could move back to north side, use the lockpicks, get the clue and the victory point. And then I'd have 2 more moves. I wouldn't be able to parlay with Alma Hill this turn, but she won't make the Doom counter tick over yet. Oh, actually, I do have the option to discard double or nothing or Last Chance to remove the Doom from her. That's true. So maybe I can be a bit freer with that then. Okay. 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 All right. So I do want this. So we're going to move back to, oh my gosh. We're going to move back to north side. We're going to investigate with lockpicks. We're testing 7 against 4. We pass by 3. We use Lucky Cigarette Case to draw a card. It's eavesdrop. Okay. We could spawn another cultist. If it's Victoria Devereaux, then we're 1 resource short of parleying her, because we need 5. But I think she only does damage. If I reveal her, I mean, heck, I could still just move down. She'll be punching us a couple times, but we can take it. Then next round we'll have 5 resources and we'll be able to parlay her, and then can move and parlay Alma Hill. I think that's the way. All right. We're going to spend 2 clues. Who do we get? Another day older, deeper in debt. It is indeed Victoria Devereaux. I swear I didn't know who's coming, but this is the second time. No, this is the third time where I've been in a location where the cultist will show up and said, if I spend clues, then such and such will happen. I swear I'm not clairvoyant. Okay, but we're going to take some hits, and that's fine. We're going to move. We're going to take a damage, but we're going to drag her with us, which is what we want to do. Okay. Enemy phase. She punches us again for another damage. That's fine. We upkeep. We upkeep into quick thinking. That could be handy. All right, Mythos. We are at 6 + 1 is 7 doom. A locked door. The only locked door on the table already, the only clue on the table already has a door that's locked. You know what? We're going to lock up. I mean, we'll lock up Southside. That's fine. Okay. Well, now the plan is a go. We're going to parlay Victoria Devereaux. All right, one moment. Sorry about that. All right, yes, we're spending these 5 resources to parlay Victoria Devereaux. Okay. Now we move down to Alma Hill. And yeah, we're going to draw 3 encounter cards to parlay her. And then we're probably going to resign, unless the deck goes real soft on us. But the way things are going, it would not surprise me if it's, you know, Night Gaunt. I'm pausing to think. Hang on. Before I move in on her, do I want to discard a card to remove the doom from her? My concern is that I might draw multiple Disciples of the Devourer who will steal clues from me, or even just one, and then Masked Horrors, which adds a doom, and I think can cause the agenda to advance. Because I have 3 turns. 1, 2, 3. Oh, well, then I'll be in the same boat anyway. We're just going to go for it. We're going to move. We're going to parlay her and probably regret it. 3 encounter cards. What do we get? Well, it's a Disciple of the Devourer. He gets a doom and a clue. He doesn't advance, but he does steal a clue from me. 1. These are 2, so I guess here. Farthest empty location. Oh, I lose the victory. That's unfortunate. And it's out of the graveyard. Either way, we lose the victory. I didn't think that through. Oh well, is what it is. What's my next one? A Hunting Night Gaunt. And a Hunting Shadow. Spend a clue or take 2 damage. That's fine. And then Alma Hill goes into the victory display. And that doom goes away. All right, so we got 4. And then we can resign. And we have to because this guy has a doom. All right. A shame about this victory point, but, I mean, it was an even trade, right? Victory for cultist. He gives a victory point. Okay. We resign. Honestly, not bad. We got 4. We left on the table Wolfman Drew and Ruth Turner. A shame. Ruth Turner could conceivably have been handled at St. Mary's Hospital, but you know what? I'll take this. Okay, so we get 6 victory points. 2, 3, 4, 5, plus the graveyard makes 6. We didn't get this location because of that danged disciple. All right. Well, we're back up to 6 victory points. These 2 cultists got away. We didn't even see our approaching doom. It was still in here, right? Sure is. Okay. All right. Ruth, Drew got away. Who do we... Whoops. Who do we interrogate? The rest. Okay. Good. I don't think we got any... No. There's an achievement for getting all 6. That is not what we're going for. We're just trying to win with this crazy chaos deck. All right. Good. I'm going to pause things here while I set up for Devourer below and think through my upgrades. Be right back. All right, we're back. After some cogitation, what I've decided to take going into Return to the Devourer below with 6 experience points, I am purchasing 1 adaptable. I'm swapping in level 0 survival instinct and level 0 think on your feet. These are both means of getting past the multiple cultists spawn at the main path when you advance the act. Yes, there's only 2 cultists, but I would still much rather have to deal with 0 of those cultists rather than both. I'm also spending my other 5 points. I'm taking level 2 pickpocketing. I do need cards and resources. Level 2 is so much better than level 0, excuse me, for being fast. And getting cards or resources or both. I'm taking a cat burglar. Boosted agility, powerful here. Disengage from an enemy and just straight up move. Could potentially come in clutch. Some of these enemies don't hunt. If I can just leave them in random side paths, all the better. I'm taking a test of will level 1 so that I can cancel 1 bad treachery. And I'm buying back my flare. The flare had left a gap in my deck, so I only need to take out 5 level 0 cards. Taking out Enchant's Encounter, the level 0 Switchblade, the Backpack, Joey the Rat Vigil, he's essentially upgraded into being a cat burglar now, and the Hard Knocks. So, let's delete those. Let's put these non-permanent cards in the deck. And let's boost up the Devourer below. I don't know if I had given myself the 1 mental trauma for Midnight Masks, but it wouldn't have mattered because I was only I was more than 1 horror away from defeat. If anything, it would have made my 1 fight or flight test a little higher. So let's return to the Devourer below. That sounds like an appropriate sound for returning to the Devourer below. All right, let's put the main path down here where we can more easily see it. Let's shuffle up our Arkham Woods locations and randomly deal 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I like to sort of do them like this, so it's more easy. What is it? Yeah, this way, if any of them connect to each other, we'll be able to see it. There we go. Nope. It's important they be off-center to be able to see those connections. There we go. That looks... Nope. If these are connected, we won't be able to see it. Whatever, it's fine. Nobody cares except, of course, me. Let's shuffle up our Agents of the Ancient One. We'll put 1 into the encounter deck without seeing what it is. We've got our agenda of 4. Since 2 cultists got away, we only put 1 Doom on agenda 1. With 3 turns before all hell starts to break loose. We have to put an Elder Thing into the bag. Let's copy to our placemat. And let's update that to show off the hateful -5 Elder Thing token. And we start at the main path. Yeah, all right. Let's see what happens. This could go poorly. It probably will. Opening hand. Scavenging, lockpicks, fight or flight, pickpocketing, eavesdrop. Definitely keeping the lockpicks and the pickpocketing. We're going to throw the rest back. Fight or flight is something I want mid-scenario, not at the beginning. Looking for an ally. Didn't get one. Lucky, survival instincts, say your prayers. All right, well, at least we can pick up clues. Let's reveal the main path. 2 shroud, no clues. Can spend an action to resign, which is not very helpful. And let's get started. I can wait to slam down. Actually, if I get one of the cards that makes you discard from hand, no, I'm not going to wait. We are going to play lockpicks. We are going to play pickpocketing. Does not take an action. We're going to move. Let's check out this location. It is the old house. 2 shroud, 1 clue. Investigated using willpower instead of the skill indicated by the investigation attempt. Sounds good. So we'll add our... Oh, we back down to 1 fist. So let's investigate with the lockpicks. We are testing willpower plus agility, so we're testing 8 against 2. 0, we pass by 6. We get this clue. Okay. No enemies, we upkeep. Leo DeLuca. Well, I don't have the resources to play him, but maybe I will with some time. 2 of 4 Doom. The Acolyte of Umordoth. Fight 3, health 3, evade 2. When engaged with Investigator with no cards in hand, he cannot be evaded. Fortunately, I have cards in hand. He's going to be evaded. We're going to evade him. We're testing 4 on 2. Yeah, 4 on 2. -2 is an exact pass. I'll exhaust pickpocketing. I will gain a resource because I want to get Leo DeLuca online. And then we're going to move twice. We're going to move... Well, we're definitely going to move to the main path. Am I going to move again, or am I going to draw a card? Or am I going to take another resource? That'll put me at 4. If an enemy shows up, then I'll have the needed 5. You know what? I'm going to take another resource. We want to get Leo DeLuca online post-haste. Okay. The enemies do nothing. We upkeep. Lita Chandler. The dream team is back together. The, oh, what am I doing? The Acolyte of Umordoth readies. He does not hunt, so he's just hanging out at the old house. All right, Mythos. We're at 3 of 4 Doom. Still from below. Willpower 3. For each point you fail by, discard a card at random from your hand. Well, I don't want to lose these. I can't use Say My Prayers, but I do have Lucky. So, we're going to test this 4 on 3. -1. We pass. Okay. I'm thinking we just play Lita Chandler, take a resource, play Leo DeLuca, and then move. And we're going to do exactly that. Lita Chandler, resource, spend 5, play Leo DeLuca. Actually, here, let's put him over here. And move. Down here. 2 shroud, 1 clue, investigated using combat. Tangled thicket. Well, that's not great, but at least we have 2, and we have lockpicks, so we'll be able to test 6 against 2 for investigating this location. Fine. Sounds good. All right. Enemies do nothing. We upkeep into a think on your feet. Those. All right. 4. This advances. All right. We shuffle this back in. We discard until a monster is discarded, spawns at the main path with a doom. I'm not exactly equipped to kill it, unless it's a ghoul. So a regular ghoul with Lita Chandler we can. Well, let's see what we get. No. No. He's not a monster. It is a regular ghoul. Or grave eater, I should say. All right. Okay, well, maybe we do kill him with Lita's help. But now, during Agenda 2, all enemies get +1 fight and +1 evade, which is a problem. Means he's fight 3. We're at fight 2. I mean, we have a lucky. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. What is our encounter card? Also, does this connect? They do not. Encounter card ahoy. Ooh. Yithian Observer. So, because of the agenda, he's fight 5, health 4, evade 4. Play fewest cards in hand. When it attacks you, discard a card at random. If you can't, it deals an extra damage and horror. Now, if I thunk on my feet back here, which I could do, he spawns here, I could immediately move back here and leave this guy here. He does not hunt. The problem, though, is that then I'm leaving this clue behind. Now, I need 3 clues. There are 4 locations. There is a... Oh, what's the math? If either of these is the Quiet Glade, there are 8 other possible locations. So it's what? My chances of the Quiet Glade not being either one of those, I think, is about... just better than 50-50, actually. If I stay here, I'd be trying to evade, obviously. We'd be testing 4 against 4. I do have a lucky. I do have survival instinct. The only issue is survival instinct and think on your feet are both my tools for dealing with the multiple cultists in the main path. Let's see. Spells are -2 right now because there's 2 monster enemies in play. So, I'm 2 up, thanks to lucky, is most of the bag. If I manage to evade him, then I could lockpicks this clue, move back, but then I'd be testing 2 against 3 to try to fight this guy. Maybe I do think on my feet. I guess if I need to come back for the clue, I could go in prepared. Yeah, I think it's too much of a bog down if I let him I let this happen. So I am going to play think on my feet. I'm going to leave this guy behind, scoot back to the main path, and trade the 4-5-4 for the 3-2-3. Now, can I defeat the 3-2-3? I'd be swinging 2 against 3. I don't have any commits. I do have lucky, but that only covers 1. No, I think we evade him and maybe get something useful for pickpocketing. We'll be testing 4 on 3 to evade, so still 1 up, but I have lucky. I don't want to use survival instinct, not yet. 4 on 3 to evade. -2. Oh, I don't have a resource for lucky. I should have thought that through. I'm just going to try to evade again. Oof. Not going well. Now I will discard the Say Your Prayers to redraw. Elder Sign. Okay. So we pass, and we pass by 2. So I get a card and a resource. Wendy's Amulet. Okay. Wendy's Amulet. Which could potentially let me replay Think on Your Feet. Or I could use it as an unexpected courage to kill this guy. Right? Hmm. No, not yet, because I want to leverage lockpicks. We're going to move to another location. We're going to try to get a clue. Also, the skulls are actually -3. Because that guy's also a monster. Ooh, maybe I do kill him while I can. Hmm. No, I think it's important to keep the lockpicks tempo going. No, no, I don't want to go into another location, draw another enemy, deal they move out still, and then I don't want an enemy in every location. We're gonna try to beat this guy over the head with Wendy's amulet. So we're testing 4 against 3. And with Lita, if it hits, he'll be defeated. Elder Sign again. He's defeated. Good. And now we move. Let's check out this location. Cliffside, investigated using agility. We're getting all the alternate investigate places, and you know what? That's fine by me. Do any of these connect? Does not look like it. Okay. All right. Fine. No enemies that do anything. This guy does not hunt. This guy does not hunt. Skulls are back to -2. Let's upkeep. Lucky cigarette case. Yes. Don't mind if I smoke. 1 of 5 doom. Ancient Evils, 2 of 5 Doom. It's honestly, I'm fine with that. All right, we'll spend 2 to play Lucky Cigarette Case. We're going to investigate with the lockpicks. We'll add agility to agility, so we're testing 8 against 2. Elder Sign again. Okay, we take those. We get the clue. We use Lucky Cigarette Case to draw a card. We are abandoned and alone. Fine. It really is fine. And then we move twice to this last location. Boom, boom. What is it? Ah, unhallowed ground. 4 shroud, 1 clue. When you enter, test willpower 4. If you fail, take a damage and a horror. Well, I got no commits, so we're taking on the chin. 4 on 4. That's a fail. We take a damage and a horror, which will go on Lita Chandler. That's fine. Okay. All right, and those locations are connected. I guess I can clean this up a little bit. There we go. Sounds good. All right. Okay, we'll try to get it next turn. The enemies just hang out. We upkeep into the Derringer. Okay, okay. We're at 3 of 5 Doom. Rotting Remains. Test willpower 3. Sure. 4 on 3. -1. We pass. The Wendy Adams way. We're going to try to lockpicks these woods. We are testing 7 against 4. -1. We pass by 2. We draw a card from Lucky Cigarette Case. And we get the clue. Okay. I mean, I think I just move back and advance, right? There is no reason to delay. We'll move back to the center. We will spend our 3 clues to advance the act. Ritual site comes into play. The cultists show up and spawn at the main path. So get our ritual site. Here, let's do this. Good. And then both Ruth Turner and Wolfman Drew engage with me. Once I enter the ritual site, we advance again. We are going to evade. We're going to evade Wolfman Drew and commit Survival Instinct. This is why I brought it. Testing 5 on 2. If I succeed, then I also disengage from Ruth Turner and I scoot into the ritual site. 5 on 2. Do it. -1. We pass by 2. So I can use pickpocketing to get a resource and draw a card. Gravedigger's Shovel. Survival Instinct does its thing, so Wolfman Drew is evaded. Ruth Turner is just disengaged. But I scoot into the ritual site. 3 Shroud, 2 Clues. Respawns back up to 2 clues at the end of each round. And we advance. Shuffle the discard into the encounter deck. Discard until the enemy is discarded. Spawn into the ritual site. What do we get? That ghoul is back. And now it's the final act. You can spend a clue to test Willpower Agility 3. If you succeed, place it on the act. If there are 2 clues per player on the act, advance. I have one more action. I don't yet have enough horror to be able to use Reckless Assault. I do have Lucky. I do have Gravedigger's Shovel. He is still boosted because it's still Agenda 2. He should have been boosted. So I did not pass by 2 when I evaded him. I still... No. I was 5 on 2. Shoot. I don't remember what I drew. Whether it was a -1 or a 0. Be right back. Checking the tape. All right. I had pulled a -1, so I had only passed the evade by 1 on Wolfman Drew. So I do not get the well, I get either the card or the resource. Since I saw what the card is, it's easiest for me to take the card and not take the resource. All's good. What am I doing with this guy? What are my options? I could try to evade again. I'd be testing 4 on 3. The skulls are now -3 again, unfortunately. Not great. I could try to punch him. I would be testing again 2 on 3. I would have a Lucky. I guess letting him hit me would not be the worst thing in the world. Because then I could put the 1 horror on Wendy, and then I could nail him with a Reckless Assault next turn. If I still have Reckless Assault, though, that's the thing. When Grave Eater hits you, you discard a card at random from your hand. So that's less than good. I think he doesn't have Retaliate. I'm just going to try to punch him 2 on 3. If I manage a -1 or better, maybe I commit the shovel. Maybe I commit the shovel. That way I'll be 3 on 3. And if I pull the cultist, which puts a doom on him, I can still play Lucky and defeat him. Yes, that's the play. So we'll commit the shovel so that we're testing 3 on 3. Fight. +1 is a pass. Thanks to Lita, he's defeated. Okay. Skulls are back down to -2. All right. Okay. All right. Enemies just hang out. Neither Ruth nor Wolfman Drew hunts. We upkeep into an elusive. You don't have to be at the ritual site to spend clues. They're the only place where I can get clues. Well, I guess that's not true. There is the one here with this Yithian observer because, you know, that's a place I want to be. All right, well, let's see what the Mythos has in store for me. We're at 4 of 5 Doom on the second agenda. Dissonant Voices. Cannot play assets or events this turn. Fine. All right, well, let's investigate with our lock picks. We're testing 7 on 3. Cultist is -2. Place a Doom on the nearest enemy. Thankfully, we're in the witching hour, so this Doom on, I don't know, Ruth Turner is not going to matter. More importantly, we passed by 2, so I can use my lucky cigarette case to draw a card, and it's double or nothing. That's funny. Huh. And I get a clue. The reason I'm saying that's funny, double or nothing. So this is in the pre-taboo days, 2018. So you can actually use this. Double the difficulty of the test. If successful, resolve its effects twice. So theoretically, if I use double or nothing on this test on the act, I could spend 1 clue, and if I manage to pass a willpower or agility 6 test, I could put 2 clues on the act. Now, is that a reasonable thing to do? Not remotely, not with lucky turned off by dissonant voices, right? Like I have a foot commit in elusive. So theoretically you could commit 5 to 6. I think what this is telling me is that I draw cards to look for more commits. Since my lockpicks is a once around investigate and I'm not under otherwise immediate pressure. So let's draw a card. Fight or flight. Ah. Now again, I can't do it this turn because of dissonant voices. But next turn, I could play fight or flight to make my agility 7. Then spend the clue, use double or nothing. I'd be testing 8 against 6, and I'd have a lucky in my back pocket. This is what we do. I think we just continue to draw cards. Like, what's the worst that can happen? I've already hit Abandoned Alone. Doomed is in here. That'll just convert into Accursed Fate and deal 1 more horror. We'll just that which doesn't kill me makes me stronger. We're gonna draw another card. Opportunist, more question marks. I love it. Yeah, we're gonna draw another card. Not without a fight. All right. These guys all hang out. We upkeep. We upkeep into backstab. Just in case a big enemy spawns. We are prepared. We have 9 cards. Got to discard 1. Honestly, might be the elusive. I don't plan to leave. Yes, it's a foot commit, but the plan is fight or flight, double or nothing. Right, let me think it through one more time. We'll be testing 7. Double or nothing adds 1. It'll be difficulty 6, 9 on 6, and lucky covers the -5. Yeah, we'll discard elusive. Okay, Dissonant Voices discards. The enemies all hang out. We got Stationary Horde. Okay, and now this advances. Ooh. I might be about to experience a very bad wrench. The Will of Umordoth. Test Willpower 6, and if you fail, search the collection for a random basic madness, weakness, and add it to your hand. This could mean I suddenly draw amnesia, and everything here except 1 card go away. We're testing 4 on 6. I can't use not without a fight. I could use opportunist. I don't want to double or nothing this. 5 on 6. I do have lucky. But if I use those, let's see. Oh, I guess I do. I do have backstab. I could throw at the commit. Let's think this through. If I commit opportunist, 5 on 6, and I have lucky in my back pocket, just in case I manage one of these. Yeah, this seems okay. Best we can do, I think. 5 on 6. -2. Sadly, out of the realm of lucky, though we do get a random basic madness weakness. All right, these are the weaknesses from the collection. We're going to shuffle and keep going till we get a madness. Called it. Oof. All right, so what do I keep? The answer is fight or flight. Because I can get a second clue with lockpicks. I could fight or flight, and then I could just slam the test twice. 7 on 3. Yeah. Well, enemies are no longer boosted. We have Agenda 3, 5 Doom. What's our card? Disciple of the Devourer, who takes my clue, my hard-earned clue, and also gets a Doom. Fortunately, this location spawns back up to 2 clues at the end of each round, so it should have already had 2 clues on it. Farthest empty location, so here, we'll plunk them over here. It would take more than a whole round. Yeah, this is just Doom that is happening. Okay. All right, we're going to lockpicks. 7 on 4. No, 7 on 3, excuse me. -1, we pass by 3, so I get a card from Lucky Cigarette Case. Scavenging, I get a clue. Do I have any worthwhile items that I want to scavenge back? Shovel, derringers, kind of. Okay. All right. It is a book icon. 4 on 3. I think I can't reasonably get a second clue this same turn. So sadly, the fight or flight boost is only, I think, going to work for 1 clue. So I think what we do is draw cards to bulk up our hand. Let's draw. Cat Burglar. Now that's interesting because he boosts agility. But I also don't have a room for him. I'm not losing Leo DeLuca, and I'm a little worried. Like, Lita's my soak at the moment. He is an icon. We're going to draw another card. Emergency Cash. I think I fight or flight. 7 on 3. My only concern, if I fight or flight, though, is if an enemy shows up, like another one of these bozos, I would very much like to have fight or flight active for that round. Maybe I just do the test and maybe I just commit. I commit the cat burglar. No, I have well, not that many turns. I'm a little worried if I don't spend this clue, then the disciple, a second disciple of Devourer is going to show up and just take that clue also. And that would be quite bad. What's my test at? 2 up. Yes, we're going to commit the cat burglar. We're going to spend a clue. We're going to attempt to put a clue in the act. We're going to commit the cat burglar. Agility test, we're testing 5 on 3. Tablet is -3, which is a fail, but we're going to discard scavenging to redraw. That hurts. So I lose the clue. Ugh! I maintain it was the right call. It just did not work out. All right. No enemies that do anything. We upkeep into Flare. Okay. Mythos. We are at 1 + 1 is 2 out of 5 Doom. A clue respawns here. Another Disciple of the Devourer. Well, I would have lost the clue anyway. But he also gets a Doom. Now suddenly, I have like 2 turns to accomplish this. Okay. All right. Okay. We are going to lockpicks. We're going to investigate. So we're testing 7 on 3. Skull is -2. So we still pass by 2. We get a card from Lucky Cigarette Case. And we get a clue. Because these guys are not monsters. Humanoid cultists. Okay. Okay. I need to get a clue on the act this round. There's Ancient Evils in the deck. This might mean the end of things. Okay. We're going to play Fight or Flight. So our agility and our combat is boosted by 3. I have 2 question marks in my hand, and I have an egg. 7. Okay. We're going to try. We're going to spend a clue to try to put it on the act. We're testing 7 on 3. +1 is a pass. We put a clue on the act. 1 more. We're going to try to investigate. I'm going to throw both of these question marks at my test. So I'm testing 5 against 3. I have 1 card for a redraw, 5 on 3. +1 is a pass. We get the clue. And now, Fight or Flight boosted. We're going to spend it to try to put it on the act. Once again, 7 on 3. Tablet is -3. That's a pass. We have 2 clues on the act. We advance. The ritual is broken. You brave the unnatural chill and weave through arcane symbols, crossing the threshold of the circle. You smother the markings on the ground, covering them with dirt, breaking apart the carefully constructed pattern of smooth rocks. A shrill noise pierces your ears as the air suddenly grows warmer and the world distorts around you, settling into normality. Resolution 1. Chaos deck Wendy Adams has beaten the Devourer below. The ritual to summon a Mordoth was broken. We get 2 more mental trauma to go with burning the house down. We don't have any enemies in the victory display, but we get 5 bonus experience because we've saved Arkham from a terrible fate, and we win. So we get the Break the Circle achievement because we completed the Devourer below without a Mordoth spawning. And we get Line in the Sand because we did this with 3 ultimatums active. Chaos, Highlander, and Survival. And there we go. I knew Wendy Adams had it in her. Full disclosure, as the 3 Wendy Adams you see here, I had attempted this run. This is the 3rd attempt of a Chaos Highlander Wendy deck. The first 2 crashed and burned, but this one worked out. This one worked out. Undeniably, there was luck in the sense of getting Leo DeLuca early in both Midnight Mass and Devourer below. Extra actions in pure solo is 100%. It's huge. Frankly, I'm hard put to say for my pure solo shenanigans that anyone who can't take Leo DeLuca shouldn't take him. We'll see as we march along. But yeah, we did it. That feels good. Don't know who it's going to be next, but there's more achievements to be had for Return to the Night of the Zealot. Until then, take it easy, everyone. Good luck with your own adventures out there. Take care.